Hello and welcome to my playthrough of Tomb Raider 1 Remastered, and today it is time for Palace Midas. This is my favourite of the three kind of sandy coloured Greek levels. Greece is kind of split into two, which is unusual. Those dolphins are exceptionally clear compared to these. I suppose they're always a bit vivid. I can't say I've ever really noticed them before, but it's nice that they actually join up there. So, yeah, this is my favourite of these three kind of early Greek levels, or the first half of Greece. And it's one of my favourite levels in Tomb Raider 1, in fact. Now, let's work out which way I need to go. It's always a difficulty starting this level because you've got loads of different directions. And this is just yet another where I first kind of got to it using the level skip, and I hadn't the faintest idea where to go. Oh, I think we have some gorillas down here somewhere. Oh, and lions, brilliant. I don't believe I'm actually shooting bats with a shotgun. Come on, out of the way. And yes, I think probably somewhere down here a gorilla leaps out. Or I'm making this up. Right, so where's the gorilla? I heard you. Maybe he's up top somewhere. Yes, now this is down the bottom of the aqueduct, which is something we'll come to much later. So yeah, I used to kind of run around these opening rooms and just wonder, like, where on earth am I meant to go? I used to get totally baffled. That leads into the switch room. Just want to double check I'm not missing anything. There's three. So this might be where those noisy gorillas were earlier. They don't seem particularly keen on attacking Lara at this point, which is bizarre. And, oh yeah, this is that temple. It has been quite a few years since I played this, and oh, not another one. Right. Well, I've cleared those out now, so they will at least not be there waiting for me when I reappear at that part of the game later. And yes, there's this rather beautiful looking garden. In fact, that looks gorgeous. This is one of those rooms I remember being a bit distractingly ugly in the original. Might be something about the trees, but I just think it looks a bit awful, to be honest. That looks much nicer. Anyway, I'm not going there for a long time. So yes, we came down a current into here, and I'm assuming this is kind of the waterway that was sort of providing the Colosseum and the monastery and everything around there with water. And we've just gone down that to a totally different building. Brother, what's his name? Is it something daft like Brother Herbert, who Lara reads a manuscript of? Where am I going? Oh, more gorillas. There really are a lot of Greek gorillas in this temple, or in this palace. Yeah, in that the book from one of the monks, there was a quote saying something along the lines of he's afraid that the tomb of Tehoken and the piece of the Atlantic Scion were buried underneath his monastery. But that's quite a long trip we took along the water, like the way that Lara got sucked along by the current there. You get the feeling this is no longer really underneath the monastery. It's not even underneath the Colosseum. Anyway, pedantry aside, we should really be now moving down further, kind of deep underground. Again, the decision to make these places have natural light sources, which again, I mean, that looks gorgeous and it makes its own kind of sense. But this is one of those levels that I've always thought of as being quite deep underground. This kind of long abandoned palace. So I'm not completely convinced by the lighting here, or by the opening in the ceiling. Again, that's what it was like. Though it does make sense about why you can hear the wind, because obviously if we're a long way underground it would just be kind of silent. Can you have kind of silent? I don't think you can. I think you can either be silent or not. So yeah, I ran around this place for what seemed like forever and just thought, right, I'm obviously missing something, I don't know how to do this, there's some sort of skill I've not picked up, or a key or something like that. And I totally failed to realise that you could literally just jump onto one of these blocks further round and then just jump around here. I have no idea how, but yeah, I managed to completely miss that. Right, corner bug. How do we do a corner bug? That is not doing a corner bug. So this is one bug that people found many years ago. I don't know if it's ever intended to be, or if it was ever intentional or not. But when you stand by a corner, there we go, you can do it. The Laura's foot just goes into the wall at a certain angle. And then when you jump enough, she keeps going into the wall and eventually lands on the top of it. I can never remember the exact angle. So I'm now going to just faff for a while until I get it right. No, that's not it, though I am bizarrely jumping sideways as well as up. Because I started at one edge of this ledge and I'm now literally at the other. That's weird. There we go. And there is the ungettable Medipack. Get unreachable Medipack in Palace Midas. There we go. So you even get an achievement for that. All of the games have an unreachable Medipack. In fact, this one has 2 unreachable Medipacks. There's one in Atlantis somewhere as well. I think that one... Oh, for the love. I think that one is genuinely unreachable though. And you just can't get it before the lava comes and burns your ass. Tomb Raider 2 is another one that is completely unreachable. You know, there's no corner bug or anything like that to get it. It's a long way away. It's at the top of a ladder, but it's actually just a ladder texture, so you literally can't grab it. So it's always just there to annoy players. So thank you for that, Core. Yeah, I have literally no idea how I never realised you could just climb up on these. I mean, you can only climb onto one of them, the rest are too high. So it could be that I just tried 2 or 3 of them and thought they're all the same height, but they're blatantly not. Who knows? Oh, time for some music. Right, so we have 5 switches up here, and they correlate with the symbols above the doors. Are they epsilons and omegas, maybe? One means down, and the other means up, and I can never remember which way around it is, but thankfully one of them only requires you to press one switch to work it out. So if we do that... Has this door opened? Yes, it has. So that's the way around. So the Y-shaped ones, epsilons are they? They are downs, and the omegas are up. Now this is another one of those kind of puzzle room games or levels. Each one has a theme, so we have a fire room here. And I really should have... Oh no, it messed this up. Should have saved it at the start, really. This is yet another one where I think the modern controls just... How on earth would you do it? And of course, giant rats. Because why not? In my head, these rats only appear in the following 2 levels, where you are completely in the basically in the sewers, in the water system that the Romans or Greeks or whoever will have installed under all these complexes. Oh, getting that 3rd jump is such a pain because it just never gives you the right amount of time to do the running jump, so you have to jump a bit earlier there. No, that's not it either. I say this every time, but I'm just trying to imagine this with the modern controls without the sort of precision of the grid system. Right, now I think, yes, you can stand there without getting burned. And here we are with the first lead bar. Now this is, yet again, another type of puzzle, another type of problem to solve. We're collecting lead bars here now. In the past we've always collected just keys, really. I suppose there was a gold idol in the city of Vilcabamba, But it's mostly just been keys. Fairly straightforward, obviously. Let's have some health. Got enough. But here we're collecting very specific objects. Lead bars. Why they're scattered behind puzzles, I don't know. But there we go. Now let's see. Can we see this one? It's down, down, up. No, it's not. It's up, up, down, up, down. Up, up, down, up, down. This is another one of those where there's no explanation. You are just meant to work it out yourself. You're meant to work out that the omegas and epsilons or whatever they represent ups and downs, and it's the game doesn't patronise you. You know, well, I suppose you can look at it two ways. It might be that it's just exceptionally nasty and difficult, or it just really doesn't patronise you and it assumes its players are intelligent and can work things out themselves. And without wanting to get into a whole kind of games these days and people are really stupid type rant, I do really like that because you get a real sense of satisfaction when you actually work something out for yourself. Oh, I'm really glad they kept that noise in. That is a horrible sound. So yeah, those symbols, you know, there's no kind of exclamation mark over them, or there's no Laura's journal where she can say, oh, I believe that the ancient Romans used these symbols to mean this, or anything like that. It's entirely down to you to kind of put the two together and through trial and error work out what's going on. And I think that's probably less common in games these days. I certainly see it quite a lot of people who are used to the later Tomb Raiders going back to these early ones, and the overall thing is just people talking about how hard they are. So I suppose... Oh, bloody hell. Was not expecting a gorilla. You dare push me onto those spikes, mate. Yeah, having kind of these as my introduction to games, I kind of have the opposite, whereas so many games that I've played feel a bit too easy to me now. Maybe because I just am used to having to work out these things. You know, one of the first games I ever played was Tomb Raider 3, and as anyone who's played Tomb Raider 3 knows, that game is pure evil. Created by sadists to punish Tomb Raider fans for existing. That, I believe, is the exit. Is it not? So, yeah, I'm doing the one down here first. So this is where the third lead bar is. Now this one has one of its, where is it? Not there, it is down there. Has the first one scratched away, so there is an intentional element of trial and error. So it's something up, down, down, up. So I'll leave it up for the minute. Got a 50-50 chance of that being right. My belly just made a very loud noise, so you might have heard that. Don't even feel hungry. Oh, perfect. There we go, that worked then. So, off for our third bar. This is my favourite part of the level, actually. I like little bits where you kind of you revisit old areas or different parts of the level that you've seen from a different angle. And there's a lot of that in this. This is one that this level kind of combines the puzzle room structure. What's down here? I can't remember what's down here. Oh, that's right, yeah, here's the block we have to pull. Yeah, this combines the puzzle room structure with a hub kind of level as well. So again, they're kind of increasing the, or adding in bits sort of a step at a time to continually challenge the player. There's not been a level really that's been especially reminiscent of a previous level, which, yeah, I just really like that. I like that it's constantly pushing you. So what happened there was apparently by moving that block, the entire ceiling fell in. Now that's not a brilliantly constructed room, is it? You know, this temple stayed up for, I don't know, hundreds of years, thousands of years, and all you have to do is move one block and the whole thing comes crumbling down. So yeah, now we have to traverse our way across the room. It's so weird having Lara's shadow. In the original, the only shadow is just a small circle underneath her. Now it's an actual one, even though yeah, the thing she's standing on doesn't have a shadow though. Because of course not. Yeah, more natural light where it really shouldn't be. Oh god, there's going to be some in the cistern, isn't there? And here we are at the aqueduct. Ah, this wonderful piece of music. Oh, well, there's that gorilla that I heard down the bottom earlier. There's a whole bloody menagerie of animals appearing here. There's a crocodile in the water, there are bats flying around, gorillas left, right and centre. Why on earth did she not focus on that bat? Or aim on the bat? Bizarre woman. Right, so that croc is dead, which means I can go in the water. Now this is the very top of the aqueduct, which I was right down there earlier shooting lions. Ah, that's it, the gorilla's on the middle level. So yeah, there's a whole bit at the bottom. And there, oh my good help. There are, in fact, 2 more crocodiles in here. I swear there was only one. Or maybe I just didn't kill that one earlier, that would make some sense. Right, the first secret is in here somewhere. It's taken long enough to get to it. It's amazing that some levels give you the secrets all at the start and some of them give you them all at the end. You'd expect them to be a little bit more spread out, but I suppose they're wherever they could fit them in. Yeah, there's some tricky, annoying jumps. Do I have to go around the other way? I can never remember which way round this is. I think it's over here. Ah, that's the one. And medipack and some magnum clips. I've not had shotgun shells for a while since I ran out of them. Just decided not to refill. I just took a screenshot instead of... The water is such an improvement as well. Before it's just some white bits of reflections, whereas that you've actually got texture on it. Well, having said that with the screenshot, I should really look at working out how this photo mode works. Not that it's something I'm especially bothered about, but I don't know, some people have taken some cool shots with it. Oh, that gorilla's downstairs. Shut up. I swear these make the funniest noises. I know they do the ooh, ooh, kind of typical cartoon monkey noise, but that one just went Arr! At me for no particular reason. That, on the other hand, was my belly. I don't know if you heard that, but I am apparently quite hungry. Nothing of interest down here, so we're kind of halfway up the aqueduct now. And every time I say aqueduct I think of a piece of music I made years ago which I called Aqueduct. Oh. I'd love to know where the animal noises come from. I mean, some of them sound maybe slightly like animals, but these gorillas don't. They just sound like people. I would love to have been there in the studio where they were like, right, do gorilla sounds, and people just go, Arr! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alright, he's not coming back, but I won't be seeing him for... I've just realised we've got the Peru sounds back again. I might be wrong, but I swear this never happened in the original game. Oh my, that was definitely not what I wanted to do, and I'm really glad I saved that. Oh, now you see, we're back to the wind again. Or is that right? Do I climb up? No, that was completely wrong. There's obviously a jump here I've forgotten how to do. I wonder if anyone else is getting that weird change in the background ambience. That's it. The lower one. Medpack. Oh, I have two shadows. I still have the round one slightly, and the weird Lara floating in thin air shadow. That's ridiculous. Unless these rocks are actually see-through. Also, that shimmying noise is terrible. I swear it never used to be that bad. don't even know what that sounds like. It doesn't sound like a noise a human would make. Oh, that's when you thought the bloody bats had all gone. They are tedious in every Tomb Raider game, bats are. Right. Here's another jump where if I don't save it I'm going to fall down and die or have to redo half the level. Yeah, well the other two lead bars were behind fairly simple trap rooms or puzzle rooms. You know, one you had to just do some platforming over spikes. The other was just fire and some timed jumps. This one takes you on a long tour of the level. If I remember correctly, actually no, I can't remember what's underneath these. Is it spikes or is it a dangerous drop? That looks... Oh right, it just takes you back to the aqueduct. That's fine then. But yeah, this is really quite a lot of work just for one lead bar. Now this is the bit that I really like, because this here, with the gorilla making noises around it, that's the pool we arrived in. And when you arrive you can always see this sort of ledge I'm on with lions running around it and stuff, and I must have spent ages just kind of trying to jump up to it. Obviously it's just out of jump reach. But that didn't deter me from doing it dozens and dozens of times and wondering how on earth I'm supposed to get up here. You know, I didn't actually think, oh, maybe later in the game you get to it, or maybe later in the level. But I just love kind of the fact that you sort of see this bit early on, and then come to it again from this angle much later. I don't know why that appeals to me. It just really does, seeing different parts of the level from different perspectives. And then once again, this is another room which I've already been to because I shot a lot. I shot a lot of gorillas in here earlier. So this section, it really is like a tour of the level from above. Go away, Senor Crocodile. And oh, no. There we go. Not that no, I don't need to go back into that water anyway. But there you go. The next person who needed that water, I've done them a favour. And finally, the lead bar is on top of a little temple that I came across earlier as well. So yeah, this particular route for this final lead bar actually takes you via every room in the entire game. Well, nearly every room in the entire game anyway. And oh, out there I can still see wooded mountains. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. At least it's given us more to look at than just the sky. Although I still don't think Palace Midas should actually be this near to the surface. Oh yes, this switch that opens the gate to the garden, but also summons a random gorilla, maybe? Or is it a lion? Oh no, I shot that lion over. I thought, for some reason, I thought a gorilla came running in behind you there. But instead they're waiting for me in the garden. Oh, there's only two. For some reason I thought this place was filled with them. Take a close look at all ancient time devices. And apparently I've done that, which is news to me. But there's a sundial. Now there is a secret in here. Oh, you can actually see it's slightly better, the graphics here. That's still really hidden, but on the in the original it's even harder to see. Right, so I've got the secret. I don't actually have to do this, but there is stuff behind these evil doors. This feels so out of place with the rest of the level and the rest of the game so far. Including magnum clips here, which are going to be useful given that I've used so bloody many of them. Medipack. Shotgun shells. This garden is lovely. Oh, can we see out? Yes, we can. Yeah, it feels like every room kind of has to have a little opening for the light. Well, that's fine. I can use a medikit. I don't even know if I need to. Are there any more animals now? And here's the second switch. And let's be honest, that's not that obvious either. Oh no, that's not the switch, is it? Where is the switch? Or am I imagining that there's a switch? Maybe I'm just forgetting what I'm doing. It's not impossible. Ah, here we are. And then we head down into the Midas room, which kind of makes sense given that this is Palace Midas. Midas, of course, didn't actually exist. It's a cautionary table about a table. Come on, brain, work. It's a cautionary tale about be wary of what you wish for. Careful what you wish for, because Midas himself wished for everything he touched to turn to gold, which made him incredibly rich, but also meant he couldn't eat, and all his friends and family died and turned into gold. So yeah, I'm not really sure why he's got a palace in Greece, but he has, and this was the huge statue of him, and that just seems to go outside again. You'd think a giant statue made of dark grey stone to be seen, that hand alone. So once again, just questioning the lighting. Now, what is the purpose of the Midas room, you ask? Or you don't ask because you've probably played the game before. Well, if everything Midas touches turns to gold, then these lead bars, when applied to Midas's hand, turn to gold. Now, how that works with a statue of Midas, I really don't know. The fact that these people, whoever had this palace, had the alchemical formula of turning lead into gold, it seems a bit unlikely. And of course, it's not just lead that turns into gold. Which looks considerably better than it did in the original graphics, where she just sort of went a bit yellow, but she's nice and shiny and gold there now. And of course you have to do that every playthrough because it's lots of fun. Probably the most interesting way of Lara dying. Right, so we now have 3 gold bars. And it's time to head back to the switch room. Goodbye, garden. It's nice to know that those in Palace Midas had a lovely place to sit. Although, obviously, they would have been beaten to death by wild gorillas that shouldn't even be in Greece, so... You win some, you lose some. No, that takes us to the temple. What I can't work out is how anyone got into this palace. There's no door. I've only just thought of that now. Oh, bring on Tomb Raider 2 in the sprint button. Was it 3? I can't remember when the sprint was brought in. Right, down, up, up, down. This has got to be the longest level so far. There's so much going on in it. And half of it was just spent retracing the steps across the level to get that 3rd lead bar. Right, through the final door. Three times gold bar. You know, that's really making it obvious. That's surprisingly helpful for Tomb Raider 1. Now, the weird thing about this is all of these golden bars, well, all the lead bars, which in themselves were completely useless, were hidden behind traps and puzzles, you know, fire puzzle, spike puzzle with floors going up into the air to make columns. One bit where you have to traverse around this huge palace, and then after that you have to use the magical hand, which, you know, turns these lead bars into gold. It's a huge long trial. Wow, nearly an hour to do that. Missed 5 pickups, but I got all the secrets. But you do that, and then after all of that, those 3 gold bars guard the way into the sewer. It just feels a bit much. Also, where on earth am I supposed to have come down here? Ah, so that's originally, I'm assuming that would be that's a long drop that would have killed Lara in any other circumstance. But you can see the sky up there now, so I don't know how you're meant to have got here. Anyway, that's for another day, because that is the cistern. Anyway, that's the end of Palace Midas. Like I say, it's one of my favourite levels of the first game. I just love that there's so much going on in there, loads of different types of puzzles, different kind of structural elements. I love the long race across the whole level to find the last bar. The gold bit is brilliant. It's just got a really great atmosphere. So let me know if you enjoyed this level yourselves, or if you enjoyed my playthrough. Like, subscribe, share, etc, 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 and I'll be back very soon playing the cistern. Thank you and goodbye. Forgot to do Goldfinger. I was going to sing Goldfinger at the end when we reach the bit with the Midas touch. Oh well.